What, 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 what.
What's up, everybody? This is Eric and Ryan of Smelly Russian Games.
Oh!
Say hello,
I
Ryan.
messed you up. Hey guys.
We're starting up something kind of new, keeping it interesting, and so we're gonna do this weekly news update thing. It's not gonna be every video we do. It's gonna be a weekly thing. Just keeping you guys up to date. So let's just start with that. Another reversal by Microsoft not requiring the Kinect to play games at all times. What does this basically mean? Basically means that the Kinect is a waste of time whenever you're buying your Xbox One, and I imagine them changing another thing and getting rid of the Kinect before release and dropping $100 off so they can compete with Sony. And there might be a chance they may even change the name. They've changed everything else, so they might as well change the name too, right, Ryan?
Might as well. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, at least stick to your scruples, but I'm not complaining all that much.
Yeah. Also along the lines of Microsoft is closing games for Windows Live Marketplace, and this is straight from
Really?
IGN. As a part of the recent Xbox 360 system update, Microsoft points will be retired, and the Xbox.com PC Marketplace will be closed as of August 22nd, 2013. Microsoft explains, "We encourage you to spend your Microsoft points balance prior to this change. Although you will not be able to purchase new games, you can continue to enjoy previously purchased content by downloading it through the games for Windows Live client software as usual." What this basically means is that they're converting everything over to cash instead of points, and they're doing it August 22nd, and they're basically gooking you into spending all your points on useless stuff, even though there won't be new games.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does, but I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that yesterday's Call of Duty multiplayer reveal, was, ooh, big and shiny, for some people. Not for me, but, for some people it was big and shiny. And along the lines of Call of Duty, to this month, it has been 10 years of the Call of Duty franchise.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Call of Duty. I don't know if I'll ever actually remember when your actual birthday is, but happy birthday. I actually remember playing the very first Call of Duty, Finest Hour. Jesus Christ, that's a hard-ass game.
Oh, yeah. And
I don't even
so was
think
the
I
second
made it
one. The
past the
second one
third
was
level.
pretty hard, too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I never got that far.
I never made it that far. Okay, well, that is it for our weekly news update. Our topic right now is kind of a specialized kind of thing for Ryan because he kind of got me into it a little bit, not as far as video games, but we're talking about piracy on video games alone. I don't pirate video games. I only do like a few movies and mostly music, but Ryan's more in depth with that kind of stuff, so I'm going to kind of let him take over. Go ahead, Ryan.
Alrighty, so piracy. It's a big thing. We have to worry about it a lot. Developers are really worried that it's going to kill gaming, quote unquote. Honestly, I think no. I really don't think it's going to be the death of video games, in fact, I actually think it could help out video games quite a bit. What the hell is this going on? Damn it. No, I don't want to save that. Damn it. All right, there we go. Sorry, Solitaire was fucking up on me. I was playing it while you were giving our news speech. I was still listening, though, so don't worry. But, well, where should I begin, in all honesty?
I think you should start with kind of how... What's the main reason why people pirate?
The main reason why people pirate, well, I don't know about people in general, but for me, it's mostly just because we're poor bastards who, we can't afford to go out and buy everything we want. I mean, I've got like 40,000 songs on my iTunes, and almost none of them I bought. Had I actually went out and bought all that music, I probably would have spent over $1,000 in music that I don't have. I'm a poor college student, I make a little much more than a minimum wage, So what am I gonna do? I've got like probably 20 movies on my laptop still that I haven't watched because I just don't have the time to, or really the want to. And it's just like I don't have a lot of time, to be wasting money on something that I may or may not like. So with piracy, if I want, I can download something and see if I like it. Now, for music and such, just because there is so much of it, I probably won't ever get to it. But also, here's another really good reason for, I guess you could say, for piracy anyway. What piracy does is it actually helps spread information and things like that. It's just like, let's say you wanted to watch a movie, then you may not be able to find it on DVD anymore. Or if you can find it on DVD, it's probably on eBay for an exorbitant sum of money. You can just go onto the Pirate Bay or something. Well, yeah, just use the Pirate Bay. It's really the only one I use anymore after BT Junkie shut down, God rest its soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this movie looks really cool. You can go on there, download for free, and watch it. And, you can decide from there if it's good or not. Like, with video games especially, what I do is I have, like, a try it before I buy it type policy. Because, I mean, really, as far as video games go, at least on PC anyway, you don't really have an excuse to just not buy the game. Because, I mean, like, if you buy the game, you get access to patches, updates and DLC, multiplayer if it's got multiplayer. So I definitely think you should buy video games, especially ones that you really like, or for developers and publishers that you really like, because you should support them. You should support what you like with your money. But I have a very strict try before I buy it policy. I do it with almost all of my games, especially since games sometimes can be really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just better to pirate it, try it out, especially since my laptop's a complete toaster, and so sometimes it's better to just download it and even see if it may not even work, or if it doesn't work very well. I mean, see, how many games do I have on here that I've actually pirated, or that I have pirated now? Let's see, I've got 3 games on here that I have still that are just pirated. And of the games that I have on here that I've pirated and then bought, let's see, 1, 2, 3, probably like 4 or 5 games on here that I've pirated and then bought. Like I said earlier, you'd really, as far as PC games, you really do not have an excuse to not buy a game, not only because of all the updates and stuff, but Steam sales. Mm-hmm. I think Steam sales has done a lot to help combat piracy. I mean, you can get a brand new game for sometimes pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
I bought, which game was it? I bought Shogun 2 Total War. It's normally $30. I got it maybe, including all the DLC that I wanted, for maybe $20. 20, 30 bucks. It was just $30 just for the base game, no DLC, none of the expansion packs, nothing. Which, that's pretty damn expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Got all 3 expansion packs and several unit packs and stuff, $30. Can't argue with that. Empire Total War, I bought it including all the DLC that I wanted for $5, and it's normally 15 to 20. So this is like, you don't really have money is not really an excuse unless you're, living on the street, you have no job, but in which case, what use do you have with a laptop anyway, or a computer in general?
Oh, yeah. And my kind of view on it is, there's the good, which you explained, but there's also the bad side of it, because when you get into pirating, then all these developers are losing this money, because unlike you, there are a good chunk of people that don't pay for games at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't pay for movies or music or anything like that. And when you get into that type of realm, it gets pretty bad, because that's the reason why games are so expensive the way they are. It's not because they're not digital. People, Sony and Microsoft and a bunch of these companies want to say, oh, the reason why games are so expensive is because they're not digital. That's not the reason why, okay? There's a reason why, PS1 games were like $40, PS2 games were $50, and now they're $60 and up, depending if you get the special editions or whatever.
Personally, that mostly has a lot to do with their development. I I mean, especially with, like we said in an earlier game, like with Tomb Raider, for example, was way overproduced. You know, they were expecting to sell better than Call of Duty, which Call of Duty is the top number one video game, or most selling video game, as far as I know, of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't compete with that. You know, it's just like you just have to not try and go for the Call of Duty audience, but try and go for your more personal audience. But that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic. But I mean,
yeah.
and I think the only way that piracy is going to be at least better for the consumer who wants to buy games, but can't because of the price, is it's not going to be up to piracy to stop, because piracy is not going to stop. It's not just going to up and quit just because they think that if they quit they're going to lower the price. That's not going to happen. It's got to be up. It's got to be up to the game developers to lower the price and say, hey, we have a better competitive price than what we used to have. Come buy our games. And when that starts happening, then less and less people are going to start pirating games, and eventually that goes away. Developers get the money that they want, and you don't see things like THQ and a bunch of other companies just falling out because they run out of money because nobody buys their games.
Yeah, it's like I think it was Gabe Newell, the guy that the CEO of Valve, also the guy that runs Steam, pretty much said that to get rid of piracy in general, you have to provide a better service than piracy does. And at times, it just doesn't do that. A lot of times you have to jump through hoops, you got to input codes and dumb shit like that. And it's just like, why would I want to do that when I can just, or why do I have to, even sometimes even sacrifice my privacy just to play a damn video game? Sometimes I just want to sit, relax, and play my video games, or watch my movies, or listen to my music. I don't want to have to deal with software, scanning my personal files, trying to find something incriminating so they can shut down my IP address.
Oh, yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. I mean, I think piracy is always going to be an issue until, like you said, you start providing a service that is as good as or better to piracy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and honestly, if you've got a service that is even just as good as piracy, for the most part, I'd still go with piracy because, I don't have to pay for it. They're going to have to, get their heads out of their asses and say, hey, you are our consumers. We want you to buy our games. We're not going to treat you like criminals. We're not going to scan your shit. We're going to give you content for free, to really make pirates want to stop pirating.
Mm-hmm.
And no amount of government crackdown, nothing is going to be able to stop it, except for publishers and such. This goes for any publisher, pretty much saying, hey, we value you as our customer. And let us show it by giving you these specials, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, that's just entitlement. You feel entitled to have content that they worked hard on, that I think they should be paid for. Which I do understand. I mean, I do understand with that, and I agree with that. It's just like, it does seem, like you're wanting to be, you feel entitled.
Quote unquote.
Or otherwise, quote unquote. Or otherwise you need to check your privilege levels.
Yeah, and there's a very fine line with things like this, because you've got people who want their product as cheap as they can get it, and then you've got the people that are willing to pay for it that think that the other people are idiots and they feel like they have entitlement or whatever, and then you've got the developers in the middle, trying to figure out, what the heck's going to happen. But I mean, overall, I think the beginning and the end of this whole discussion has to be with developers and how they price their games and how they distribute their games and how they need to show that, hey, we want you to buy our stuff, not just because we want to make money, but because, we've been doing this for so long together, let's, build some kind of relationship here, Yeah.
Also, another thing they need to really stop is they need to stop shelling out games that are unfinished. Like, for example, Medal of Honor Warfighter didn't have a day
goodness.
1 patch. Yeah, day 1. It wasn't even finished before it hit the shelves.
Yeah, I paid
That's
$60 for half a game.
Oh yeah, and even after however many patches they had, it still wasn't finished. It was buggy, it was laggy, it had so many just problems with it, even after release, that, you know, most people didn't even really bat an eyelash when it was released.
Yeah.
And even still don't bat their eyelashes at it.
Yeah, really. Yeah. But, yeah, that's it, guys. We just been, you know, contemplating this. You know, we've been going back and forth on this for a while. You know, we're big talkers and stuff, and we want to hear what you guys have to say. You know, give us your opinion about piracy. You know, whether it's good, bad, otherwise. Comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, do whatever you want. We're also on a podcast, Smelly Russian Gaming. Find us on iTunes, and take it easy, guys.
You can't rhyme against the dark side of the force, why even bother? So many dudes been with your mom, who even knows if I'm your father? You're a pissed off little prick with a Napoleon dick. You call that a mustache? I call that dirty Sanchez on your lip. You bitch, let me remind you who you're messing with. Everything that you did, I'm the motherfucker who invented it. I'm the original Dark Lord, you're like the sorcerer's apprentice. My soul troopers make yours.